Hello, and welcome back to Let Supreme Ghost Thief. So, last time, I know that I said the next video would be either The Painter's Wife for the Dark Mod or Catacombs of Knoss Part 2. Of course, at the time of recording, I didn't know that Skacky had another mission that was going to be released. So, I'm going to squeeze this in there. And I know it's a very young mission, but I got approval from Skacky to record and release this one. I usually don't do it this quickly, so this might be one of the fastest upload for a new mission that I've done, I'm not sure. Anyway, it's Reflections in Red, and it's for Thief 2, which is a little bit out of the norm for him. It is a little bit of a different mission from his usual style. It's not a city mission. It reminds me a little bit more of a Midsummer Night's Heist for the... Was that for the 1 million units contest? Or was it for the Thief 2 anniversary? I don't know. One of those two. You know, it's a manor mission, but it's very different looking than that one, though. But anyway, yeah, it's a nice one. It's very, very nice looking. And it does require 1.28 of the New Dark update. So that's the very newest one that's only been out a couple of months. So you have to install that in order for this to work properly. And I'm playing version 1.1b, which I think is the second release after the initial one. So yeah, nothing else to say. Let's just get into it and get going.
I knew the Wexler job would get messy, but I didn't expect this kind of heat. I covered my tracks, but someone's been on my trail ever since, and they're getting closer. I did a little digging to find out who wants me dead, not exactly a short list. Wexler's still chasing his precious emerald, so he's out. Word is it's already halfway to Zurich on a merchant ship. After leaning on a few old debts, I got a name, Lord Barlowe. A noble recluse with more coin than sense, holed up in his estate on the edge of Witchwood. One of his former servants was happy to talk. Turns out loyalty doesn't pay as well as I do. Seems Barlowe's family's been pressing grapes for generations, hiding behind the cursed woods to keep out curiosity and competition. Their pride and joy is a vintage called Witchwood Red. The recipe hangs framed in the Lord's chambers on the 3rd floor. I think I'll help myself to it. Consider it payment for his poor manners. The manor sits on a lake. Swim, climb, or sneak. The choice is mine. Front gate's a death trap, though. Guards in plate, a captain, and 2 sergeants keeping watch. The Lord hates electricity, too, so he sticks to torches and gaslight. A few water arrows should do just the trick. A dark lake, a rich fool, and a locked door. Sounds like my kind of evening.
So, on Expert we have to infiltrate Barlowe's castle. Barlowe is proud of his family's wine to a fault. Word is their famous recipe is framed in his chambers. Find it and steal it. Barlowe found you despite your best efforts at laying low after the Wexler job. Find out how. So that's optional, that's a readable. Well, the Wexler job is referencing Winds of Misfortune, and this is a loose sequel to that mission. You don't have to have played the first one, but it ties into Wexler, which had the emerald that got stolen in that mission. Obtain a bottle of his family's oldest vintage, Witchwood Red from 672. That's also optional, but for Supreme, you guys know that optional ones are still required. Take the opportunity to loot Barlowe's castle for 3,250 worth of valuables. Killing is the mark of an amateur. Do not kill any humans. Critters are fair game though. Return to your entry point by the waterfall in the south of the lake when you are done. There's going to be quite a few updates to an additional objectives coming along as we get into this. We do not need to buy anything, and we are not allowed to for Supreme, but note that there is an invisibility potion for sale, which we do have enough funds to afford. Also a speed potion, so these are obviously very nice and useful. We do have only one rope arrow. We don't need more than that. I don't even know if we, strictly speaking, need the one. But I'm going to use it on a couple of occasions. But we don't need two, but only having one is maybe worth buying one for your first playthrough if you're not ghosting. Okay. So I'm going to go right away here. You can see the manor. Beautiful visuals. I think there's some visual updates to 1.28 here. I'm going to talk about the manor map when we get in. Other than to say there are quite a few entrances. But there's not that many entrances that doesn't require picking a lock. Which is why I am going to take the lake entrance from the north to the basement. So this entrance here is what we're going to use. I don't like picking locks. Now, there is an event that is going to relock all the exterior doors. So picking a lock open doesn't really matter for that sense, because it'll get locked behind you anyway. So the point for me isn't to not pick a lock. The point is not to leave a door unlocked if I can avoid it. So that's loosely required by the Supreme rules, but required by myself. Let's see. There's some loot here up on the first bank on that table, but there is an archer that comes down pretty quickly. I think I got hurt or spotted there. I don't hear anybody, which is very strange. Oh, he went down there. Okay, here's a water arrow, by the way, right there. Here's a... Oh. Okay, well, we don't need... There's another one right there. In total, there's 5 water arrows in the water itself, spread around the manor. We're now on the south side of the manor. Oh. Here's a moss arrow. 3 coins here on the table. They can't see you from this side. There's a little pier. There's a waterfall. Total 78. And down here is actually a secret, which I didn't find until the very, very end. It was the last secret I found, the last thing I found in the mission, and the last loot that I found. So I don't really know how I missed it, because it was pretty obvious. I actually, found a lot of difficult things before I found this. So this is some kind of a hidden shrine temple area. There is a gas arrow, 2 stacks of gold coins, and 5 individual coins. Total 133. And that actually is where I'm going to give you my first ghost challenge. I want you guys to find a different way within Supreme rules to get to this little temple. So not by way of the cave here. So you can't use any equipment or anything like that, which isn't allowed for the most part for Supreme anyway. And you obviously can't take any damage or anything like that. So show me how you do that, and of course not get detected along the way. Okay. See, I'm also going to show you guys a little Easter egg. You can very, very slowly come up here. You have to run and strafe. With the speed potion, it's a lot easier. But if we go through here, we can actually find a sword in Dewdrop. Now, what did Dewdrop ever do to you, Skacky? Well, nothing else here, but just that. Let's take a look this way. So now we're approaching the eastern side. This is another basement entrance, but that does require... lockpicking. We're not going to really go this way. There's another couple of water arrows over there, I think. But here's a few crumpled pieces of paper that have not disintegrated in the water, by the way, which is surprising. Help me. I am locked in a cell. Help me. So this is actually going to be part of a side objective that we're going to get pretty late. So I'm going to actually... cross this way. So here, you can jump in here, you can jump in Mantle, and there are two doors that are not pickable, and you can enter through the southern. This is the balcony, and these doors here on the first floor are accessible. I'm not going to worry about that. Over here is a moss arrow, and I think there's maybe two more there in that corner. I think there's a total of 3. There's another moss arrow over on that side. Want to take his purse, total 153. There's also a moss arrow sticking up from the hedge on that side right there. And the archer that we saw down on the bank has arrows, and this guy here too, I think, have arrows. So that's a total of 3 pickpockets I've shown you so far. We took 1. Here's a patroller. We're going to have to sneak by him. Here's a moss arrow. This is a pickable door to the basement. We're not going to take that. This is down to the mausoleum. We're going to come out of the mausoleum later on. You can also drop off this Here's another. Oh, jeez. Another archer. With more arrows. Okay, that's pretty bad timing. There is one guard that goes in and out here. I don't know why I'm lighting up so much, because there is shadow here. It seems even like it's darker right behind this tree. There. This is not a pickable door. Takes you right into the foyer. That is a valid mode of entry, but it's not the easiest. And there's another reason why I don't want to take this. Why I don't want to take this exit. I'll explain that later. Okay. There's 4 coins here and a purse. Purse was worth 40, so that's total 197. Okay. We're gonna drop all the way to the water now. So we might... Don't understand why I can't just... drop, let's see. Should face this way. We can probably just jump all the way. Yep. There. And we're going to head into the north basement entrance. There's 2 levels to the basement, so we're now heading into the lower level. Just down here, and there's a guard that is on his way back in, which is great, because that means it's accessible for us. In this grotto, on that side and this side, there's a total of 3 water arrows. That checks off infiltrating Barlowe's castle right here. Let's make a real save at that point. Alright, let's wait. I guess we can wait until he comes back out. I don't think he goes back and forth only to that door. I think he goes a little bit down the right. So I guess we can take a look at the map here now. So this eastern section and this room here is all on a lower level. You go up through this staircase and then you come to the upper level of the basement, which is this western section. And that accesses the wine cellar, the kitchen. We saw this door before, and we saw this door to the basement. And then this is the staircase that goes up. This also goes up, but that goes up to the foyer, which is not a good place to ascend, because it's loud in the foyer. It's on the first floor, that is. It's bright, and there's patrollers, so you don't really want to do this. Now, there is an event that's going to happen where all of the guards are going to disappear. And I think they disappear for the rest of the mission. The readable says they're going to be gone for 2 hours. They're going to go to the woods. But I think it continues till the end of the mission. So if we can trigger that early, then we can basically loot the whole castle without, or almost the whole castle, without any worry of getting caught. Now the problem is that there are 2 guards that have purses that they carry, so those will disappear along with the guards. They probably will get teleported somewhere else, but we won't be able to get to them. So we want to at least take those 2 purses before we trigger that event. But that's a very convenient thing to know about, because then you can quickly run through and grab all the loot, and then worry about the end game, which is kind of the hard part of this mission. And this guard here that comes out is one of those 2 guards that has a purse. Good.
Dun, 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 ba-dum, bum, ba-dum.
Yeah, that was what I thought. There is another guard too. Or is that the guy that has the purse, maybe? Yeah, that's the guy that has the purse. So it's not the guy that goes outside. Or maybe it is. Yeah, it is the guy. No, it's not. I think that's the guard that goes outside. Anyway, one of these 2 guards had a purse, and we took it. 222.
Dun, 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 dun.
My 2 favorite things in this mission is the visuals, how crisp it is and how clean it is, and the ambiance. You're going to hear that throughout. Different rooms have very different feels to them, and there's a general sense of dread that comes across in the ambient tunes.
Wish someone would let me know what's going on. Never included anything. Last person didn't know.
There. We're going to ignore everything else in the manor. So we're going to come up now. Actually going to go through here. See, I think maybe there's a guard that comes down here. So we now went up this staircase, and we're coming up to this staircase on the first floor. And that is very close to the foyer. We're going to go up to the second floor, actually, so we can access the foyer from the second floor, because there's one patrolling guard that goes from the first to the second in a loop that has a purse. Let's see here. We're going to go all the way to the second floor. There are a lot of patrollers, so it's tough to sneak through if you don't use this hole. Oh. So the toughest part is the beginning part of the mansion before people disappear, and the end after we trigger a different event that, if you don't know what that event is, then I won't spoil it for you now. Of course, I would like you to play the mission and not get it spoiled at all. Let's see here. Here we have one of the wonderful stuck guards. I've seen him stuck, I think, on 4 different occasions. So, that's one of 2 guards that I found stuck notoriously. But if we can trigger the disappearance of the guards, then that won't be a problem for us, really. You going up or down? You are going down.
Huh?
Okay. We're not safe here. So I don't really know what to do here. That is not to do.
What was that?
If we can get up there, maybe it'll help.
Is that?
What is this we're jumping and bouncing out from the railing? There. I think. Okay, we were safe there.
Hello? Show yourself.
So I have not seen anybody stuck on this in this section of the map. Yeah, this is a tough area.
Something moved there.
But I think we were extra unfortunate
What's that?
with the patrols now, because last time I went straight up and just hid in that general area there.
What's that?
Goodness gracious. I don't know where... I can't lean right now because I'm not fully on the... Okay. Alright. I didn't know where he was going, so... Let's take this while we're up here. Okay, here's a patrolling archer. There's also a civilian that comes in here. There he is. Ah. Okay, so he is hostile, but he doesn't alert to us if we are stationed in that corner. This can be tricky. This is obviously an archer with arrows. And there's the guard with the purse that I talked about. Let's make a real save here. He doesn't come in here.
Huh?
Okay, maybe we'll just leave that door open, I think.
Huh?
Oh, wow. I want to get up here. Oh, I think we're in that candlelight, so I think if we go here, maybe we're safe at the very corner. We are safe somewhere on this ledge, so I'll figure out where exactly. But here comes the guy with the purse that we need. Okay, 342. Get this guy's arrows too if you want to. Okay, good. Close the door, no alerts. 342 loot, which is what we should have at this point. Now we can go all the way up to the 3rd floor. I guess I can show you the floors a little bit more first. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's got a similar layout each level, which is nice, predictable. You got 2 main staircases between the floors. These 2 here. This is the stairs out. This is the foyer doors that we saw where we had the fountain and all that stuff. We now went to the upper level of the foyer, but you can't go into the main entrance, which is also pickable. And you can go down to the basement via these stairs here. There's a music room, there's another sitting room here, I think. This is the guards' quarters. This is accessible to us now. The 2nd floor has a dining room in the middle and a little mini library, and some sitting rooms here as well. This is the guest wing. That is locked off at this point. We need a key to get in there, and that's going to be an important event going to happen in the library. So these are further stairs that take you all the way up to the 3rd floor, but we don't have a map of that. So the 3rd floor is the attic, where you have 2 separate areas, but they are connected from the outside. Okay. There is a guard in white, a white guard that goes all the way through the attic. Here he is. I'm not sure if I'm safe here.
Who's over there?
No, I'm not. Okay. I guess we'll try this trick again. We kind of also hit him at the worst possible time. Let's see.
For girl birds to meet up with. Just don't hear them no more. Kinda sad.
Okay. To the house staff, I very much value my privacy in the confines of my laboratory where my family has been crafting our famous wines for generations. I require absolute silence while I toil. As such, I do not appreciate finding anyone outside my door, especially when they are playing games during their nightly rounds. As such, I order no one is to trespass beyond this point, unless absolutely necessary. Captain Royce and Sergeant Alaric have been advised. Lord Barlowe. Okay. Let's see. So this one we have to pick. This is the door to the balcony then. So we have to pick that lock. Stack of copper coins and a stack of silver coins. This is the door to the laboratory. You need a key to get in there. So we're not going to go there now. Here is a rope arrow, I believe. And then in this room here, which is just another storage room, there is a gold candlestick back here, and I think there is a noisemaker arrow in this footlocker, which is pickable. Don't need any noise to be made. I love the sounds here. The creaking of the floor is ominous. Oh, now he comes back. So he makes a round, goes through this balcony, that guard. So now we're on the south side, right above where we started, sort of. Above the accessible balcony on the first floor. So we have to go back to that storeroom to enter the lab later. So here, this we can pick. This is one of those doors that will be relocked later on. So this is not an unnecessary lockpick. The other door that we picked up here to the attic was necessary. Okay, so now we are actually in Barlowe's own quarters. Goblet and a bottle of wine here. Let's see. Here is a bear trap, and that you can use. When you drop it, it opens, and then someone else steps on it, and it takes a lot of damage. I haven't used this too much, or experimented with it, so I'm not sure if it can kill an enemy, a human enemy, in one shot, and I'm not sure if that actually would count as a kill towards you, since they're technically stepping on something, not being killed directly by you. Set up here is a gold vase. Then we have a readable. We oft lament how impossible it is to live in harmony with certain folk. Yet many such souls are not wicked, only peculiar, and might be set right with patience and wit. Take for instance the tale of a certain master, given to tempests of humour, and his long-suffering servant. One evening the master returned in foul spirits, and found fault with everything. The soup was too hot or too cold, or perhaps merely wrong in its existence. In a fit he seized the dish, and hurled it through the open window into the yard below. The servant, without a word, calmly followed suit. First the meat, then the bread, then the wine, aye, even the tablecloth and silverware. Out they went, each piece after the last. The master leapt to his feet, thunderous. "What devilry is this?" he cried. The servant bowed slightly and answered with quiet composure, "Forgive me, sir. I thought you desired to dine outside this evening. The air is fair, the blossoms are sweet, and even the bees seem to rejoice." The master, struck by his servant's wit and the beauty beyond his window, felt his anger melt away. From that day forth, no dish ever flew off his table again. That's interesting. Okay, here is a pocket watch. And then over here we have a gold goblet and a silver plate. Total 664. We also have a readable. Most esteemed Lord Barlowe, it is with great concern I write you. My sister, Lady Agnes Wadsworth, did not return to our family's estate, and no one knows of her whereabouts ever since she accepted your invitation. I have heard many frightful rumors pertaining to the woodlands surrounding your estate, rumors about brigands on the road and wild beasts haunting the glades. I dare not think of it, but could she have fallen victim to some danger on her way to your estate? Lord Barlowe, you might be the last person to have seen my sister. I am at my wit's end. Please, would you send a party into the woods to look for her? My sister is all I have left. She and I are estranged from our eccentric mother, and mother certainly would not care for her daughter's life. I await your reply post-haste. Lady Meredith Wadsworth, Wadsworth Hall, Hightown. That's interesting. Okay, so we're going to make a real save here, just in case. When we take this key, the clock is going to toll 12. And that signifies the guards leaving. We have no information about this yet, except for what I've told you. There are going to be readables later. This has been instigated by Captain Royce, I believe. So we'll get to that readable in a little bit. So now we basically have the entire premises to ourselves, which is nice. So it kind of removes tension for the moment. Under here is a secret. 2 gemstones, a holy water vial, and a healing potion. We're going to take the healing potion. we do have to return it. Let's see. And now we're going to click this one and reveal another secret. This one we can lock again easily. And here we have a room. Let's see. So here we actually have Agnes Wadsworth that's been imprisoned. We don't have the key for this gate yet. But we are going to release her. There's a silver plate where she probably had gotten some food not long ago. Here is a readable. Lady Olivia Waverley, drunkard with a rotten liver, not worth the effort in the end. Hunting her was a bore. Lambert, no one will shed a tear upon learning of his disappearance. Awful character, but such flavorful blood. Did not even try to run. Oswin Whitaker, curious fellow, his blood tasted stale, but I like it when they run, and he certainly did. Alaric, unplanned. Alas, poor Alaric, your shortcomings were met with my hunger. Brave and defiant until the very end. Lady Agnes Wadsworth, her delicious blood echoes in her vessels when she looks at me. Resistance is unbearable. Garrett the thief. Luring him here was too easy. I have hope hunting him will prove satisfying. Lady Agnes will have to wait. So we have actually been awaited here. Let's see. Now, here is actually another entrance up to the attic, but I didn't want to take that because that requires picking this lock, which I did not want to pick. Here is a tinderbox. We are going to need such a tinderbox a little bit later, so I'm going to go back up here. Skips needing to pick that lock because we can open this secret door from the inside. I do not think you can close or open this from the outside. Not found a switch for that. That takes you back out to the balcony the other way. So we're going to leave that open. We're going to have to close it later on, but we have to return the east wing key that we took. I didn't say we took that, but we did. Okay, here is a gold candlestick. And now we can go ahead and loot. Loot our way around the map. So we are now second floor, and I think we are right outside the east wing, I believe. Right there. Here we have two purple vases. Head into this room. Two goblets and a bottle of wine. And a moose or an elk head. This is the closet that we took the tinderbox in. By order of the master, this door is to remain locked at all times. This takes you into the restroom facility, which is completely empty. Okay, so in the dining room here, we have gold plate, gold candlestick, gold goblet, silver plate. There are also 3 apples. Kind of a small library. And there's a gold vase here, and a purple vase. We can head into this room. See, there was a gold plate as well in here, and the 2 gold candlesticks. Then we can head actually back into the foyer. these two. Let's see, did I forget to grab something now? I must have. Did I forget to take something here? No, I took these two. That's odd. Let me check. Yes, I forgot a gold vase in here. So let's head down now to the foyer. There's a candlestick and another gold vase. So then we can go downstairs to the basement. Let's do that. Kitchen, there are some carrots. Two silver plates, two gold plates. This is the entrance to the wine cellar. We do not have the key to the wine cellar yet. Pantry, there's tons of food. Two goblets also. 2104. The locked entrance to the outside. Nothing here. In this one you have a broadhead arrow. And we can go back to the lower basement and do that while we're here. There's a pickable footlocker under here with a moss arrow, which we do not need. This door we're going to have to pick. Because in here there is a statue. There's also a letter and a scroll. Dear Lady Wadsworth, alas, your sister never did arrive to my humble estate. I was under the impression she had changed her mind, and I did not want to visit me. But now that I have read your letter, I'm also afraid that some calamity could have befallen Lady Agnes. You liar. These woods are treacherous. However, I know Lady Agnes is a resourceful young lady. I'm sure she has found a safe haven and is waiting for us to come to her rescue. I shall send a party into the woodland as you suggested, and I would like you to come to my estate to look for her together. Surely her hearing your voice would make finding her much easier. My butler Norbert Rafferty shall deliver this letter to you as soon as possible. I remain your humble servant, and I swear we will find Lady Agnes together. Randolph Hamilton Barlowe. Norbert, I want you to send this missive to Wadsworth Hall in Hightown in a week from now. I count on you, Lord Barlowe. All right. In here we have a stack of silver coins and another readable. Let's see. I thought there was is there a person here? No. Frederick, you came highly recommended from the Grand Hotel. Yet I'm sure you'll find your place here an easy one, as the master is most certainly not a hard man to feed. A runny omelette as an overcooked roast won't trouble him much. Yet, don't mistake his leniency for an invitation to cheat, as I am sharp of eye. And if I find you culpable of laziness, skimming, or purloining, you won't find post nor pardon in any decent house, as he is well connected with the servant guild and the nobility. Furthermore, none is to fetch or handle the wine but I, and the wine cellar is off limits to all but the master and I, Norbert Rafferty, Esquire. Beatrice, enough with the unholy effigies of foul trickster magic you leave on the trees. This is an affront to my faith in the builder, and I highly doubt the master would find it in good taste if ever he found one of them by chance. I will not repeat myself. Stop this heretical foolishness at once, or you will be bound to the first carriage back to the city, and I mean it. Norbert Rafferty. Okay. So now we're back to the doors that we took in. What we are going to do is we are going to block this door with our healing potion. Because once we trigger the next main event, all the exterior doors will be not only locked but barred shut with a board outside the doors. The only way of re-entry then is to break those boards, and we have to re-enter at some point. So now this is going to get locked, but it's going to be blocked open. So we can then enter this way and return the healing potion and close the door when we finally leave, and that'll lock it behind us. The reason I picked this door and not any of the other doors to do this with is because there is something in the manor that's going to follow us, and if we choose this door, he's not going to follow us outside because there is no outside area to go to. If we had opened one of the upstairs doors, he might have gone into the main courtyards or the enemy that we're going to encounter. So we don't want that. Let's see. Here we have a purse and also a stack of silver coins. And there's a moss arrow here. This is the pickable door that goes outside. No, we're not going to do that. Here's a rope arrow. Here's a moss arrow. I think there is a healing or a candlestick here as well, yes. 22, 23. Then we can go upstairs. Now here is... I always miss this jump. There's a pickable footlocker with a tiara, I believe. Yep. So now we're on the first floor. This is out to the balcony. There's some gold plate. Here is is a purple vase. Go into this study. Gold watch, and then a nicely hidden ring here on the handlebar of this bench, or arm handle. 2668. This is the main foyer. Leads out to the front courtyard. 2 gold vases here. Go into the music room. Here's a gold candlestick. Beautiful painting. I like this little... Is that a fiddle or a violin? Or a viola? Not sure. I think we also missed... yeah, 2 candlesticks. In here as well. And then there are 4 goblets. Here's a green vase. That takes you out to the balcony also. And then back here, 2 gold goblets. 3178. Now we can head into, we now basically covered all of the first floor. Now we're going to head into the guards' quarters. Alright, so here is a note slipped under the door. And that's what it's called also. Royce, I commend you on following our good master Barlowe's orders, but mayhaps you should also use some common sense when you do. Here's an example. You locked the second floor closet as per the master's wishes. However, you did not bother to take the tinderbox out of it. As a result, Frederick cannot light the torches if they ever go out. And since you hate us for some reason, you decided to throw that key in a fire. Well, congratulations, dimwit. It's melted now and it's properly unusable. So we are in a bit of a pickle now, aren't we? Surely you can see how your men not being able to see anything at night is a liability. How will you explain this mess to Master Barlowe, I wonder? I long for the day when you finally get the boot, you peasant oaf. You can huff and puff all you like. You do not scare me, and believe me, I will have the last laugh, Norbert. Let's see. I'll drop this back here. Another letter here. Captain, sir, I will not have it. While I have tremendous respect for you, especially considering you are a veteran of the Miranval War of 16, I will not stand for your frivolous accusations regarding my supposed hand in Alaric's disappearance. It is true I never liked him very much, and did not approve of him having the Lord's ear, but the same could be said of you. I think something else is afoot. Alaric was devoted to the Lord and certainly would not abandon his duties. I readily admit that I am afraid, sir. These woods are haunted, sir, and I hear strange whispers in the corridors at night. I want to know Alaric's whereabouts as much as you do. Let us put our differences aside and investigate his vanishing together. Respectfully, sir, Sergeant Aldrich. And here is a pickable footlocker that we are not going to need to pick, but there's a readable in there. A plot. Captain Royce, my esteemed greetings, friend. I knew the prospect of a place among my inner ring, as well as a substantial monthly donation to your pension fund would sway you. Please, do not fret about your betrayal of your master, for he is a contemptible wretch who has had what is coming to him. You are doing the right thing, Captain Royce. Since you have failed to learn of the whereabouts of my emerald, please make sure the entire house staff leaves the castle for at least 2 hours at midnight, so my men can look for it in peace. I do not vouch for peaceful encounters, should any stragglers be found in the castle when my men enter it. It is also highly probable your former master won't survive the night, should he prove uncooperative. I look forward to having you among my trusted underlings in the near future once my emerald is in my hands once again. W, which is Wexler. So Wexler's the one who paid Royce to call all the men out for a couple hours now, which means that Wexler is going to show up soon and try to take care of Barlowe. Here's the purse, 3203. Let's continue our way here. Here's another purse, 3233. Also an apple over there. Okay. Men, the Lord has given us an exercise tonight that I want you all to follow to the letter. You are to go about your duties as usual during the day and the evening. On the midnight chime, you are to leave your duties and proceed to the front yard. Please also gather Beatrice, Frederick, and, it pains me to write this, Norbert as well. They are to follow the exercise as well. Once everyone is gathered, we are all to vacate the estate's grounds for 2 hours. We shall return to the estate grounds once these 2 hours are elapsed. No, I do not know what this exercise is about, but I have learned not to offend the Lord with pointless questions. I count on your obedience. The ones who do not follow this exercise will receive the whip, Captain Royce. Okay. Let's see. So we're going to have to pick this lock. So there are 5 broadheads in there, yeah. This was empty. I've had enough of your imbecilic superstitions. No, the woods are not haunted. No, the corridors do not whisper. But yes, I do believe you had a hand in Alaric's disappearance. Consider today your last day of employment. Tomorrow you leave. If you don't, you will get a hold of my fist in your face. And never try to flatter me, ever, Royce. Here is a stack of silver coins. Can move further into the next barracks area. Stack of copper coins, and that hits the objective. Which basically means... oh, we forgot to steal the wine recipe. So that's up in Barlowe's quarters, but we're going to have to return the east wing key there anyway. So when we do that, we can take the recipe. I forgot to take that. I actually forgot that on my practice ghost run as well. So it's not an obvious pickup, I guess. But if we had taken that, we could actually have left the entire castle now, because these are optional. You don't need to do those. And we could have finished the mission. It's that simple. But we're not going to do that, of course. Alright. Men, I have to remind you again that the bear traps inside the armory are the property of Master Barlowe, and as such they are not for your amusement. The next person I catch fiddling with them will wish they were never born, Captain Royce. So, we don't have to go in there. You can pick open the door, and there's a healing potion, a noisemaker arrow, 4 broadheads, a flash bomb, a rope arrow, and 2 bear traps in the armory. Now, in the bathroom stall, there is a well-hidden purse on top of the frame. $32.75. We are done in the entire guards' quarters. We can just head up then to the east wing. Let's see. I'm going to lock block this door because I'm going to have to run out of here pretty quickly, and then I don't want to fiddle with the key, so I want to just shut it behind me quickly. Okay, so this is actually Agnes's bedroom. We don't need to pick that lock, because we can get in a different way, so I'm going to skip that lock pick. Here is a goblet, a silver plate, and a gold candlestick. So we're now in the guest wing. So we skipped Agnes's bedroom, and then we're now in this area. This is the door to the library. We can't get in there now. We're going to go in here instead. Let's see, in here, the purple vase. This is empty, but we have a readable. Steam stay. 17th of Vendemia, 835. Finally arrived at Lord Barlowe's castle, if you can even call it that. What is it with these bovine old families and their taste in gaudy architecture? Lord Barlowe wants to invite me to dine tonight, but I'm too exhausted for that right now. Besides, I already have my victuals. Do not trust this peasant cook to not only prepare a meal worthy of my person, but also not to poison me at the same time. Everyone is after me, in the city and beyond. Vine's Day, 18th of Vendemia, 835. Barlowe did not seem too bothered. I did not accept his invitation to dine yesterday evening. We talked a little this afternoon. What a bore this man is. He's as boring as the horrible art that taints this loathable house. It is already intolerable that I am but an esquire still, but this man represents everything I detest. I would like to know why Sir Fairfax deemed it a good idea to send me to him. Fear's Day, 19th of Vendemia, 835. Another horrible night spent in this dreary bedroom. All I could hear was something scurrying above my head. The halls are cold and my bones are aching. I'm going back to Sir Fairfax first thing tomorrow. So that might indicate that there's something up here. Is. Before we go up to say hi to that spider, we're going to head this way and then we can get down to Agnes's room. From above. And here's a necklace, 3535. Then we can read a letter here. Meredith, Mother was wrong as usual. Lord Barlowe is everything I want in a man. Learned, delicate, and sensitive. All right, yes, he's also dashingly beautiful, but that is beside the point. You should see his domain. It is so marvelous at this time of recidivus. He is such a connoisseur of art, unlike that of Brother Rutherford. Do you remember him? He tried to woo me by showing me his hideous collection of forged marunos. I balked so fast he did not have the time to react, and he sends me letters still. Anyhow, Lord Barlowe took me this morning for a boat ride on the gorgeous lake surrounding his estate. And at midday we took a stroll to a rocky terrace where we had a most delicious lunch. I should go down to the kitchen and congratulate the cook. He also made me taste one of his vintages, which he said no one besides him has ever drank. It was marvelous, Meredith, unbelievable even. His regular vintages are some of the best you can taste, but this one, out of this world. I am due to return to the city in 3 days. I shall tell Mother I demand to marry Lord Barlowe as soon as I arrive at Wandsworth Hall. I will not hear otherwise. My choice has been made. I will see you soon, sister. With affection, your sister Agnes. P.S. Were you aware that Cod Oswin had visited Lord Barlowe before I came? I have found one of his silk handkerchiefs in the bedroom Lord Barlowe has given me. There was no mistaking it. I wonder why he was there. Interesting. Okay. So then we are basically at the point where we can trigger the main event here. Let's see. So we are going to overhear a conversation above the library, essentially. Let me just check that I have everything, yeah. So he did see me. I think we can wait here safely. Without getting spotted by that spider. Yeah. Alright. Time to make a real save. At the very end of this hall, corner over there, there's a flash bomb and a healing potion as well.
Well, well, well. The illustrious Count of Tallobury, Lord Wexler himself. That's a visitor I did not expect, least of all in the dead of night. What brings you here?
I am here to get back what's rightfully mine. I must say, you hide your tracks quite well, but not well enough.
Ah, you must be here because of what happened to your emerald. I am afraid to disappoint you, my dear lord, but it is not in my possession.
Did you sell it already, you bastard?
Sell? You disappoint me, Lord Wexler. A thief beat me to it, and its whereabouts are unknown to me. Now we are both looking for it.
You lie. I will scour every inch of your dreadful estate, and I will kill you for daring to abscond with my property.
I think it is high time for you to head back to the city.
I do not believe you are in the position to be making threats, my friend. Your entire house staff has been paid off. My men have bolted all the doors, and my carriage contains explosives, enough to set fire to your castle, which is what I will do once my dagger pierces your neck and I find my emerald.
Last chance, Lord Wexler. Approach me and meet your peril.
I've had enough of this. What's happening? What are you? Down to the ground. Get back.
Blood rushing in your veins, Prince of Thieves.
All right. So now, this monster is after you now. Find a way out of the castle. So Lord Barlowe has turned from a human into a monster. And all the doors have now been bolted shut, as Wexler said. So we have to now find a different way out of the castle. Now, of course, we can just go out via the door that we blocked open, but that's we're not going to do, because the other intended exit will take us to the mausoleum where there's loot. So we're going to take that exit. But now we have access to the library.
I've got to find a way out of this castle.
So we are going to head into the library and take some stuff there. And I'll explain some things. Okay, well that actually worked out. Okay, I want to here. Okay. I'm just going to do this quickly.
Damn, I've been had like an amateur. Well, you got one of me, Barlowe.
So I will... Ah! I don't...
like it when they hide.
So that's what we need to do. I should have saved it there. I did not want to make that big clang there, because I'm sure he heard me. So that's Barlowe right there. And he ran so far away suddenly that I just saw my chance to get out. I want to go down and just read those readables. Dear Lord Barlowe, I must thank you again for the delivery of your exquisite wines. Our clientele loved them and has enjoyed your Moonlight Breeze vintage from 822 especially. You did not hear it from me, but it appears Lord Signoli will be on his way to your estate to congratulate you in person, soon as his stay at the Blackwell is over. You must give me a tour of your vineyard someday. They must be a sight to behold. Please give your workers my congratulations as well. Fergus T. Blackwell, proprietor of the Blackwell Hotel. And this diary, 11-2. The plan is in motion. The Black Boots gang has been hired, and tonight they strike. Soon this damned stone and the secrets buried within will at last be mine. 11-4. This heist was a fiasco. The Black Boots' much vaunted skills prove as counterfeit as the passes they brandish, but no matter. Alaric will mend his failure. If the gemstone is the real prize, I also have hopes he will too recover Soren, the gem cutter, for he is one of the few humans whose company I do not dread. 11-7. Alaric is returned, empty-handed. He knows the price of failure. Naturally, the spirit fettered within the emerald was summoned and massacred them all. The gemstone is nowhere to be found. Alaric would not dare steal from me. 11-18. Only by parting with the sword of old enchantment did I uncover the name of the one who dared steal from me. A contract giver who knew this knave would rob Wexler gave me his identity. Garrett is his name, a self-styled prince of thieves. Now to find a way to guide him to me. If I cannot have my prize, then I will have his blood. 11-21. Catherine has concluded her part. She fed the Prince of Thieves all the information he wished to hear. So enraptured was he by his own designs that he never scented the snare. All that is left is to welcome my guest as he deserves. So that's why we said that we had been fooled. And the new objective now... No, this completed the optional objective of finding out how Barlowe picked up our trail. So we are being spotted right now. So essentially, Barlowe can see us, can hear us. And when he does so, he will turn and start lurking towards our position. So that's how we can tell that he knows where we are now. When he fully alarm sees us, he comes running. But then when we go into a different room, he has a set position, which is over here, I think, that he runs to if he is farther away. See, right there. So I don't know what state he is in right now. He does not give first alerts, but if he turns and starts lurking towards us, it's because he's heard or seen us somehow. So I was trying to get in here and hide up top the stairs before he came running into this room earlier. That's why I just made a bolt for it. Unfortunately, I made noise up there, so I think he heard us. So we're going to have to do that over again. But at least now we know. Yeah, so now he probably just heard. I don't know if he's on his way in here or what he is. pretty dark right here. I don't know if he'll go over to us now, or what he will, but... So now he goes away there.
Damn, I've been had like an amateur. Well, you got one on me, Barlowe.
There. Okay. So he should come in here now. 39.35. Which 2 gold candlesticks, a gold goblet, a purse, 2 gemstones, and a green vase up top. Okay. Not sure what he's not coming now. Okay. Is he stuck? That is the oddest thing. Why on earth did he go down here? Yeah, this is just strange. I can't have this.
I've got to find a way out of this castle.
I've never seen that type of behavior before. He should come right over to us.
I've got to find a way out of this castle.
He should run right into the room that we're in. I don't know what he was doing downstairs, and I don't know where he's trying to go. That has actually never happened before. He's been pretty predictable.
Damn, I've been had like an amateur. Well, you got one on me, Barlowe.
Okay, so now we're good. This is what he does every time. So that means that he doesn't know where we are. There seems to be an affinity to where we are located at any given point. Don't know why we can't mantle this railing. These railings are annoying. There. Okay. So now we're in the situation that I wanted. So we don't want to jump. We don't want to jump from wood to there. Now we want to run through the dining room. We want to run up to the laboratory, basically. There. We want to grab this. There's a healing potion over here. And there's some readables. But there remains, under disputed attribution of course, a fragmentary apocryphon ascribed to the notorious transmuter Klatremus, whose speculations upon pneuma and astral sympathy earned both esteem and odium amongst his contemporaries. The following extract, preserved from the deteriorated folio owned by the Gervasius estate, is generally regarded as a concise statement of his lunar hypothesis. The moon, being the lady of magic, draweth from the corrupted flesh of Lepermans a mystical breath twixt life and death, which being mingled with milk and the periodal blood of a virgin, and gathered in vessels of silver, neath the milk-white beams, may be the cunning of an artful philosopher bestirred to remembrance of its former shape, so that the outcast dead doe whisper of secrets under here cold dominion, without offence unto the gods of law. Marginalia and annotations. Moonlight presides over subtle transformations, as her beams are the liminal spaces between life and death, as shown by the magisters of the Golden Order. Leprosy, no better symbol for corruption and exile, serves as a conduit for impure vital forces. Milk, primal life-giving elixir. Its creaming purity is a purifying balm, as evidenced by the miracles of St. Victus. For more references, the hagiography of St. Victus in the Synaxarium of Sithanaste. Catamenial fluxus, cyclical energy, a bridge between life and potential, channels feminine mysteries that brew chaotic energies into a coherent vitality. Okay. Not sure if we have enough time here. Invisibility potion 2. 2 more bear traps here. Gold plate. Speed potion. Wine cellar key we need. 2 holy water vials. Purse. And that was the secret as well. Oh, come on. Okay. I think we're pretty good here, actually. I think he heard that. Don't think he heard that. Let me just check if I got everything here. So I got Gold plate under the stairs. I got a blue vase, a gold candlestick, 2 green vases, and a purse on the rafter upstairs. But I also got the wine cellar key. There was also a dagger up there that I didn't show you, that you can actually use to cut yourself, and that'll lure Barlowe into your direction if you want to do that. Now we want to run to the wine cellar because we have the wine cellar key. I think we can do that by going all the way down here. He should follow us. We want to save it here. Make a real save right here. We have 4405. Okay, good. He was right there. He just can't get to us because he can't unlock the wine cellar door. He can unlock all the other doors, but for some reason... the wine cellar door is just not possible for him to unlock. He has gotten stuck for me on the way down. I think we're good here. We're going to make another real save here. So we know that this real save is right before the wine cellar and this is right after, in case he is now stuck. But I don't think he is, because he came out there pretty easily. So we don't have to worry about him right now. We can basically just go down here to the wine cellar. And there's a total of 8 bottles of wine and 2 goblets down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we also have the Witchwood Red from 672, which it says on the casket there. Let's see, there should be one more bottle somewhere. Here's a rope arrow too. I'm not 100% sure where that last bottle is, but there should be one more bottle. Where is that last bottle? Yeah. I know I found 8 bottles in here. I don't know where it is. Okay, instead of running around aimlessly, I'm gonna spend a little bit of time on my own looking for this. Okay, I found it literally 5 seconds after I cut the video. It's right by the entrance here. 4835. So that's all the loot we need before we leave the mansion. And we have to pick the lock on this gate to leave the mansion. There. So that completes the objective. We also got the optional of getting the wine. 32, no. Find a way out of the castle. Okay, so now we drop down into the grotto underneath the mausoleum. Is a silver nugget down here. There's also 3 water arrows in the water if you're looking for that. Okay. In the mausoleum there's some loot. Vases, a candlestick, another green vase, and a blue vase. 5235.
I doubt Barlowe is going to leave me alone after all of this. As soon as he finds his way out, he'll come after me. So I need to deal with him tonight.
Okay, so now we have... Poor Wexler mentioned he had brought explosives. Maybe these can be used to kill Barlowe or at least trap him. Get a hold of these, as well as a tinderbox. Well, we already have the tinderbox. This is the mausoleum key we're going to use to leave. There. And we've left the rope arrow in the laboratory. We're going to pick that up later. But we can... Wait. I thought we could. I thought we could. Oh yeah, we can run up here. So we're going to overhear a conversation now between Wexler's men. That's on this side. Now you can see the western entrance is boarded up. All of them are. So we're going to drop down here and get the explosives.
These should come in handy when taking care of Barlowe. I just need to place them down in his wine cellar, then lock him inside and light the fuse.
Barrel of explosive powder. So we checked off that. Now, trap Barlowe in his wine cellar, place the explosives inside, and make sure the door is locked with Barlowe inside before you light them up. Okay. So we have a tinderbox and we have the explosives.
I should be in the game or something.
Now we just need to get the purse off of the guard that's... over here. See, there's a certain method to killing Barlowe as well.
Hey. What did I hear?
Wow, how did you hear that?
Now what?
What do you mean?
How's the boss, Manny and Bernard, supposed to get out now that you've nailed everything shut, genius?
Boss said lock all the outside doors. What was I supposed to lock these doors with? My knickers?
Could have brought some chains and padlocks instead, you dense tapper.
Oh, shut up. At least this way nobody will enter unless they break these doors.
Forget it.
Huh.
Now what?
What do you mean?
How's the boss, Manny and Bernard, supposed to get out now that you've nailed everything shut, genius?
Boss said lock all the outside doors. What was I supposed to lock these doors with? My knickers?
Chains and padlocks instead, you dense tapper.
Oh, shut up. At least this way nobody will enter unless they break these damn planks.
That wasn't an alert at the end there, was it? I couldn't tell. It sounded...
Now what?
What do you mean?
How's the boss, Manny and Bernard, supposed to get out now that you've nailed everything shut, genius?
Boss said lock all the outside doors. What was I supposed to lock these doors with? My knickers?
Could have brought some chains and padlocks instead, you dense tapper.
Oh, shut up. At least this way nobody will enter unless they break these damn planks.
Forget it.
There. Nobody saw that. Or heard that. So now we got the loot, 5260. That's actually max for the mission. And we have the explosive barrel. So we can now enter through the grotto entrance that we blocked earlier. As soon as we do that, Barlowe is going to run from the wine cellar to our location. That's just scripted. Obviously, his alerts are not alerts, really. There. Save it here, and then we can... grab the healing potion. Don't close the door. If we wait here now, he should come past us, and then we can run up. There. No, this is not where we're going. Sorry, I went wrong there. What happened now? Okay, see now, when I reload it, it doesn't remember where it's supposed to go. See that? That's why it's important to have this save. now you can hear him coming. Now we're going to have to open the wine cellar and leave it open so that he can come in.
I need to lock the wine cellar door with both Barlowe and me inside before I can light the fuse.
So now maybe we can wait down here. Typically he runs into the wine cellar. Like farther in there. No, he'll see me there if I do that.
Keep hiding, Prince of
There. Yeah, see that he sees that. So this is the trickiest part. Trickiest part here is now getting down. Without... Yeah, if you can continue up there. That means he didn't see us when we dropped or heard us. Let's make a real save here. Oh, he was facing away now. Nice. So if we... Got to use the hardcover now if he goes behind there. So that he doesn't see us. There. Wait, yeah. There we go.
That was close. Hopefully that did the trick.
That did the trick, because he was behind hardcover. The center of his body is where he sees us from. So even if we can sort of see the tip of his snout, he doesn't see us. It's the center. I've tested a lot of stuff with him, but... So that should be it. So we locked the wine cellar, which would be according to Supreme rules as well. And we have completed all of the objectives, except for taking the recipe, which we will do now. So now we just have a lot of cleanup to do. Let's lock block that and return the mausoleum key first. And those are locked. So it's a cool concept with Barlowe. It makes for a different gaming experience, but it feels very gamey when you sort of can know predictably where he goes. You can manipulate what room he goes to and how he behaves, especially when the whole when I reloaded and suddenly his target point disappeared. You know, then he behaves differently. So I don't know if I like or enjoy that as much as dealing with guards in general. But it's difficult to make this all work properly, I think. And obviously, Skacky said he did not make this mission with ghosting in mind. So of course, it's not made trying to work around possible solutions to a ghost run or anything like that. Let's see here. We are going to first now. Gonna go lock block the east wing door. Here. We're gonna have to return the laboratory key to that area, but let's see, can we go up here to get Agnes? Is this where Agnes is? I think this is where Agnes is. Yeah, this is, and we left this door open, right? That's why we did that. So now we can go get Agnes. That's what the strange key is for.
Alright, lady. Let's get you out of here. I hope the reward will be worth the hassle.
So there we go. There's nothing else in this room. But we got a new objective. This lady will become Barlowe's latest victim if you don't do anything. Break her out of her prison and take her with you to the south of the lake. Okay. Just lock this. And that door there's locked now, although we picked it open. Let's see. So first we can take the Barlowe's wine recipe. Checks off the main objective. Then we can the strange key, but the east wing key. We can drop here, and then we have to return the healing potion, right there. Like that. Okay, did we use the tinderbox? Yeah, that got consumed in the process. So then we can, let's just make another real save in case. We can close this one and leave. See, so now is this no, this is not where we're gonna go leave her. We're gonna have to bring her with us over here. So we're going to take her down here a little bit later. But we are first going to head back up to... Let's see, we're going to return the... No. There. The strange key is here. And then we are going to return the wine cellar key, which was here. Here's the dagger. The one I didn't show you last time. Then we only have the laboratory key left. Oh, no, no, no. Yes, yes. That is correct. There. Because we've lock blocked that. It's a little bit tedious to go back and forth and return all this, but the house is empty still, so not a problem. So yeah, I like the mission. It's definitely not my favorite of Skacky's by far. Probably towards the bottom of the missions I've played of his. But that doesn't mean it's a bad mission. It just means the extremely high average quality of his creations. But I do think that, I mean, once you figure out that you can use the fact that all the guards leave, it becomes a little bit less tense, maybe. Well, not maybe, it does. And then the whole situation with the monster is a little bit unique, but I don't think the solution really lends itself to very fun gameplay for ghosting. I think it was more fun to play this on my first playthrough, figuring out what the monster was all about and how to solve the puzzles. Once you know the puzzles, it's kind of okay. But it's an enjoyable mission. It looks fantastic. It sounds fantastic. Very eerie. Great atmosphere. But it might be that I personally like more open missions with not a strict manner mission, maybe isn't my style, but I like any kind of mission for that matter. Oh, what am I doing? Where are we going here? There we're going. So I would give, maybe personally, I would give this one a 7 out of 10. I know that's probably lower than what most people would give it. 7, 7.5, something like that. I typically don't score fan missions. I'm just happy to play any fan mission. So now this is even locked. There we go. Check our inventory. There we go. Only loot and objectives. Now we just have to swim back with the lady. And we're good to go. So I have not played Catacombs of Knoss Part 2 yet. I have played, and I am well on my way to ghost through the Painter's Wife. So that will be the next video. That will probably be released in January. Probably first half of January sometime. I won't have time to finish recording that, I think. Just because of the sheer length and size of that mission. But yeah, I mean, this should be a successful Perfect Supreme. Let me know what you guys think about how we dealt with the monster, but all the sprints that it makes into each of the rooms, yes, it is dependent on where we are, but it's all scripted. I don't think we got spotted or detected a single time by Barlowe. I don't believe so. So it seems like with every New Dark update, the engine just gets pushed and pushed more and more. So if this look here is like the standard of new missions, that's just gorgeous. I mean, visuals has never been the end-all be-all for if a mission is good for me. It always comes down to story and gameplay. Those are the two most important factors, gameplay being number one. There we go. Hopefully I didn't forget about anything. The closing of doors and stuff like that. Okay. That was hopefully a successful Perfect Supreme run of Reflections in Red by Skacky. Brand new mission this. 1 hour, 15 minutes, and 1 second. We took 5260 out of 5260. We picked 4 out of 8 pockets. Those were all loot, I think. Believe so. And we picked 6 locks, which is the minimum that I can get it to. We found all secrets, but we didn't deal or take any damage. Nothing and nobody killed. And that should be it. Yeah, good mission, enjoyable, different, and always a pleasure to play any mission of Skacky's. I think there's still a couple I haven't played. Maybe don't quote me on this and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the Vanishing maybe, and maybe there's one more. One of the earlier ones. I think there's one for the for one of the contests. I think maybe that was the Vanishing. Yeah, there might be a couple, 2 or so that I haven't played. Let me know if you know of any that I haven't played. Oh, Midsummer Night's Heist I have played, but I haven't played it on the channel. So that one also. So maybe there's 3 then. I don't remember. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know what you think about this mission. I know a lot of people in the forum said they love this mission, which is great. It's getting very good feedback from most of the players, at least. So I'll see you guys back for The Painter's Wife after New Year. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your month, guys. Happy to have you here. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.